Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the Eastern Conference. We're going to do the same thing for the panic meter or concern meter. I mean, not confidence or panic meter for the Eastern Conference now, just like we did for the West. So let's start with your first team for the Eastern Conference.
Cleveland. I put them in the contender team, I believe, or the contender tier. Not that I thought 17-1 was going to happen. I just thought regular season, new coaching, they kind of have it together. They've far exceeded that. They'll get a 10 on this because I don't even think in my wildest dreams 17-1 was on the table, but they look the part of a really good regular season team. My concerns past that are still there, but the new system, Garland and Mitchell are fighting each other. Allen and Mobley are, working. Mobley looks aggressive, which kind of helps, keep Allen at the rim, but he's attacking it so that he gets some offensive rebounds. And they even, what's his name has been out. The guy they got from Miami a couple of years ago. So they look the part of a contender.
Yeah, I had them as a playoff team, and my prediction, I am confident they are a contender as well. The big hang up was I didn't know, I knew I loved Atkinson, and I said, but it's just a weird fit, and I don't know if the coach will make that big of a difference. I knew he'd make a difference. I didn't know if he'd make that big of a difference. Well, guess what? I was wrong. So I don't know how I would rate this. My confidence meter and them being a contender would be high as well. Them being a playoff team, not a contender is low because they're a contender. So I would have it at a 9-10. It is a bummer that the Celtics are in their conference because I think the Celtics have the best guards to guard your two guards, which they have that over everybody. But the Cavaliers, I think you were thinking of Dean Wade. Is that the guy you're thinking of? They don't have
Max Strus. He hasn't played yet, or he might
Oh,
have just got back.
oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, and here's the thing, Mobley. So they're first in offense, 10th in defense. Mobley is shooting right now 35% from three, which we talked about. That's the importance of him spreading the court. You're right. He's been aggressive. He's only been taking two threes, roughly two threes a game. So it's not like a ton, but he's showing a willingness to shoot them. I would like to see a little bit more because the more I don't need 14. If he could just get to 4, just enough to give more spacing. It hasn't been a big issue, like I said, like you mentioned, and I'm gonna um just say is it's his work because they have the number one offense still. So it's not like he has to do it, but I'd like to see it, especially for playoff purposes. I think that would help with the floor spacing. But what can I was wrong. I didn't know that. I loved Kenny Atkinson. I wanted the Bucks to hire him, and I wanted the Pistons to hire him before they hired Monty Williams and before they hired JB Bickerstaff. But I didn't know he was going to make this big of a difference to this team.
Yeah, it's one of those, and again, things can tail off as teams kind of adjust. But when you start out 17-1, it's hard to have any complaints.
Agreed. What's your next team you'd like to talk about?
Orlando.
Mm.
I believe I had them as a. Did you have Orlando as a contender, and I had them? Did we flip Orlando and
No, it was
Cleveland?
The Knicks in Cleveland, but I
Okay,
had the Magic as a playoff team.
okay. And the Magic are impressive because we were really. I was really worried. Apollo being out, and they had 3 or 4 games where you were like, "Oh man, this is gonna." I feel bad. Orlando's gonna, end up way down at the bottom and have to claw all the way back. But I think I text you the other day. I watched that Lakers game with Franz Wagner, and I was like, I don't know why you have to give these guys a contract. Here. Well, Franz Wagner is showing why you give the guy the contract because since Paulo has been out, he has been on a heater, and he looks. I don't think he's a one. I don't think he could do carry a team for the whole season, but he looks the part of a 1.5. And his shot is back, his confidence is back, and the dude is showing why he got a max extension.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think that, like you said, once Paolo went down, you thought bad things. Franz took the team by the horns, like let me help you. And one thing we said during our preview of the team is that he needed to get back to shooting 35% from three, not 28. Well, guess what? He's shooting 35% from three. That obviously helps. He has really helped this team out. I think like the KCP signing has been a little underwhelming, but he's been doing, like the veteran stuff, which is fine. I'm confident. I'm at like an 8.5 with them as far as playoffs go, the top six. Where are you at?
Yep, I would go with the 8. Just some of the better teams in the East have started to show up, and I do think without Paolo, their margin for error is small. They basically lose that Laker game if he doesn't hit like a 35-foot
Sure.
step back jumper. So they'll probably drop some of these, and that'll keep them in contact. But I think 8.5 for a playoff team they're probably a lock to be at least a 6.
Yeah, and Anthony Black has looked a little better this year, which is good for them, right? So he's had moments. Okay, another team you got? Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.